I think the ruling that he discussed and the loss of qualified immunity by the police, by the sheriff's department, I think that sends a pretty stark message to law enforcement across this county. And I think it should send a pretty stark message to you guys that the days of feelings enforcement from the dais is probably over.
Love you, baby. You're beautiful.
A couple of years, things may change when all the kids grow up and start wearing ties and going to the polls.
You ever have that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
Any member of the police department who has allowed himself to get out of condition will either get back into condition or be weeded out.
2025 Board of County Commissioners 5:30 business meeting. There are paper copies of our agenda available for those here in person, and the full packet for our meeting is available on our website. Okay. We'll go on to general public comment.
Social contract refers to the consent of the governed. When this body, who's supposed to represent the people, actually exists to thwart the people and waste their money and enrich themselves, they are not true representatives, they are illegitimate. Waste, abuse, and corruption. How long are the people in this county going to put up with it, and how long are commissioners going to allow it? Thank you.
John Eames. Lawrence. Regarding your reserves, you've created a continuous pattern.
John, we're going to be talking about our reserves during our meeting.
Yes.
Could you provide your public comment then, if it's on that specific item, or is this general?
It's broader than just the reserve.
Okay, go ahead then.
Regarding your reserves, you've created a continuous pattern of inflating the budget, raising property taxes, and stockpiling the excess cash when actual spending is lower than the budget. You've created a very large slush fund. You might consider returning it to the taxpayers. The people of this county have a right to see how this government has spent their hard-earned wages. You must make public the complete details of every program, contract, grant, or other obligation of county funds spent from this slush fund. For too long, county property owners have subsidized ideological projects that they did not vote for. The Douglas County electorate has seen their tax dollars used to fund free housing and social services to people who are not county citizens and actually not U.S. citizens at all. Guaranteed income programs are not supported by our Kansas state legislators. HB 2101 prohibits municipalities from adopting and implementing guaranteed income programs. These passion projects do not advance the interests of Douglas County citizens. Worse, these passion projects do not verify participant U.S. citizenship. You need to be transparent and accountable with all your initiatives. Douglas County has been identified as a sanctuary jurisdiction that is violating federal law. Stephen Miller, American First legal founder and Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, has written to all of you stating that such lawlessness subjects the Douglas County Commissioners and your subordinates to significant risk of criminal and civil liability. Federal law is clear. Aliens unlawfully present in the United States are subject to removal from the country. It is a crime to conceal, harbor, or shield them. See Section 8 U.S. Code 1324. You are in violation of the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution. The Indiana AG and the Iowa AG have filed lawsuits against sanctuary counties and sheriff departments in each of their respective states. The Kansas AG is starting to follow. The United States AG has started with New York and Illinois, including Chicago. A Pam Bondi meeting is not far off. Perhaps there's someone on your staff that wants to protect herself using the Kansas Municipal Whistleblower Act, which is 8B 2160, or the Federal Whistleblower Protection Program.
Any other public comment for general public comment?
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. Back in April of 2022, I was unlawfully arrested in this meeting room here for a sign. Then I was removed unlawfully from a meeting the following month. And then last spring, I was muted multiple times from a meeting and was once again unlawfully arrested on May 1st. I filed a lawsuit on all of that, and a ruling has come down today from the dismissal stage of it. And concerning Sheriff Armbruster and his unlawful arrest on me on April 20th, the court writes, based on those allegations, which the court must accept as true for this motion to dismiss, a prudent person would not believe that plaintiff Speece had committed, even arguably committed, disorderly conduct, and thus Armbruster and Deputy Crutzel did not have arguable probable cause to arrest plaintiff Speece for that offense. Moreover, as pled, Armbruster and Crutzel violated clearly established law by arresting plaintiff Speece without probable cause for sitting silently and conversing with another citizen, even if a foul-mouthed conversation. So and regarding the May 1st arrest, so as pled, Channel and Coleman violated clearly established law by arresting plaintiff Speece without probable cause for silently standing in the meeting room without blocking or hindering the meeting. The officer defendants are not entitled to qualified immunity on Claim 9. In particular, Armbruster and Crutzel are not entitled to qualified immunity for the April 20th, 22 arrest, and Channel and Coleman are not entitled to qualified immunity for the May 1st, 2024 arrest. The court denies the motion to dismiss those claims. Plaintiff has adequately pled causation for the malicious prosecution claim against Deputy Crutzel based on the April 2022 arrest. Plaintiff has also properly alleged the other elements of the claim against Defendant Crutzel for the arrest. Concerning the commission here, the plaintiff has therefore alleged that the public comment policies burden substantially more speech than is necessary to promote orderly and efficient meetings. Thus, plaintiff has stated a plausible claim that the public comment policies do not survive narrow tailoring for content-neutral restrictions. The county and county commission defendants motion to dismiss plaintiff's facial and has applied challenges to the public comment policies based on content and viewpoint discrimination is denied. The court finds that removal by officers from the meeting would chill a person of ordinary firmness, and he has plausibly alleged the second element. Finally, plaintiff has plausibly alleged that muting and removing him was substantially motivated by his protected activity, which was speech. The claim is filled with allegations that plaintiff was muted or removed because of his signs and other comments during the meeting. Therefore, to the extent that plaintiff alleges retaliation by removing him from the meetings, he has stated a claim for relief. The court denies the commission defendant's motion to dismiss the retaliation claim against defendant county to the extent that it is based on the plaintiff being muted or removed from the meetings, but the court grants to the extent that it is based on the arrests. So maybe you losers, reporters there could maybe report on that. That's kind of a big deal. And you deputies there, that's your leadership. That's your leadership. Armbruster sent Channel and Coleman to unlawfully arrest me because he didn't have the balls to do it himself.
I can attest to the way that they've treated people in the media. I think the ruling that he discussed and the loss of qualified immunity by the police, by the sheriff's department, I think that sends a pretty stark message to law enforcement across this county. And I think it should send a pretty stark message to you guys that the days of feelings enforcement from the dais is probably over. I think in the last few meetings in the county, we've shown, nay, proven, the constitutional right to speak. I hadn't planned on coming to this meeting tonight because we've proven that. Part of the battle that I came in here to fight with you guys was because you kept shutting him down illegally. That was before you two, but those three know damn well what I'm talking about. But that was why I was here. And I announced that to you guys in emails, just like I did to the school board. I told you why I would come in here and why I would challenge your policies that were unconstitutional. You chose to attempt to criminalize me as well, Karen Willie. You're lucky that day that Channel didn't arrest me as well, even though you told her to. But that's the reason I was here from the beginning. There was a night at the city commission meeting, and I know it's real easy to, it's hard being Justin's friend because everybody's gonna hate me, right? And that's not untrue, because there's a lot of people that try to judge me just because I stand up for him. But there was a commission meeting one night where they were illegally arresting him. And as he walked by me, as they were putting him in handcuffs, he looked at me and he said, "Come on, Mr. First Amendment, where are you at?" And that really made me think, and if that was a chuckle over here, you gotta be kidding me. But that really made me think about how we silence the other side. We don't always agree on politics and our political views, but he has the right to say them. And he has the right to speak up here and use words that you don't like. So the days of silencing people from the dais and feelings enforcement from the dais, I think are over. I think we can get a commitment out of the sheriff's department for that. Because I think they're done taking the hits for you guys. Because that's really what's happening with these qualified immunity decisions, is the sheriff department, those individuals, Armbruster, Channel, Crutzel, Coleman, you guys did that to them. Those four are going to be individually held liable for their actions. And you three did that to them. They should hold you personally responsible for what you put those officers into. Have a good night.